So I'm going to talk to you about what is Open Graph. Open Graph is actually something that incorporates game dynamics. First, we talk about what is a social graph. Social graphs are actually a global mapping of everyone and how they're related. Social networks are actually made up of individual social graphs. Open Graph is actually a platform that allows sites and apps to share information about users in order to tailor offers, features, and services to each one's interest and taste, even if the individual has never visited that site before. So how does Open Graph and Game Dynamics work together? Open Graph actually gathers information. How do they gather information? Well, one of their ways that they gather information is something called the like button. Probably seen it on the website that we've been on before. Basically, what the like button does is it actually exploits the basic human need of status as well as self-expression. So the game dynamics aspect of self-expression through the like button is once you click that you like something, you actually recommend it to another person, whether it be a friend, a family member, or some other acquaintance. Partners can put this like button on their website next to a product or service and have a member actually click that button so they can recommend it to their friends and family. Each like is actually compiled and stored into a list of recommendations. These recommendations are actually used to gather information about that member and about their acquaintances and give this information from one member to their acquaintances. It actually creates an individual's marketing profile. Imagine that you go on a web page. The web page has a song playing on it that you enjoy, and you click the like button. Pandora will then pop up and start playing that song. After that, you'll see an advertisement where you can actually go and purchase those ringtones so you can put them on your phone and listen to that song when someone gives you a phone call. Also, below that, you'll see any news related to that specific artist that played the song that you liked. On top of all that, all your friends and family will be told how you recommend that song to them for them to purchase. So we asked, how does Game Dynamics and Open Graph influence the marketing? Well, based on the premise that recommendations by friends and family are actually held in higher regard than recommendations by an actor or a spokesperson, that's what Game Dynamics and Open Graph builds off of. Basically, traditionally, marketers would try and push their products on consumers. So they would put an advertisement out there, 7 out of 10 dentists recommend Colgate for the toothpaste. Now marketers can pull the information from consumers and make recommendations based on that information. So you could see something like a news feed stating that would be posted on your mother's social network that would state, "Mom, I really like this Colgate toothpaste, you should try it." So now your mom's going to be more likely to go out there and get it because her son recommended it as opposed to an actor or a spokesperson she saw on television. That's how it's going to incorporate into the marketing aspect.
Okay, so the purpose of all this data that can be gathered, all this information that we're able to deduce from using Game Dynamics to be able to really find out what people want and like is, of course, to make money. And primarily it allows marketers to exploit and uncover consumer trends and to be able to profit off of it. That's the whole point of this. Not any marketer can utilize Game Dynamics towards this end. I'd like to focus a little bit on Facebook's Open Graph simply because it's by far the largest scaled version of Game Dynamics and using it in order to profit off of that information both now and primarily into the future. The two primary uses of Game Dynamics that Facebook is taking advantage of is, of course, through friending and social commenting. Facebook's stated goal has always been to build identity into the internet, and this is kind of a very important thing to understand. Up until Facebook came around, one of the biggest draws to the internet was its anonymity, and you could be anybody you wanted to online, and Facebook's entire business model revolves around completely removing that anonymity and giving you a static online identity that goes with you wherever you go on the internet. And this is done with what they term as the identity layer. And they were able to put this in place simply by giving users a platform to to share photos, likes and dislikes, favorite shows, favorite music, etc. with their friends, anyone that's part of their network, and friends of friends, and so on and so forth. And they did this by developing their Open Graph, which is a set of protocols that allows Facebook to integrate into other websites and other services. So now, rather than just being able to collect data off of its users from within the Facebook site, it allows them to actually gather data on you wherever you go on the internet, as long as you're on any sites that have integrated the Open Graph protocols. Now, why would website owners want to integrate these protocols from Facebook? Well, it's primarily a thing of convenience. It allows for a universal login. This is good both for site owners and for visitors. Site owners have noticed, of course, that they're able to get a higher level of interaction within their site when they have people already logged in, and users don't want to have to remember all the usernames and passwords that go along with all the various sites that they might visit. So it's a convenience for both. And it increases traffic and exposure for the site owners. Now, to speed up the implementation of it, though, what Facebook has done is they've given priority to websites that have integrated the Open Graph protocols in Facebook's search within the site. And this is important because hundreds of millions of searches are conducted within Facebook, and up until now, those searches would only bring about results from within Facebook. Well, now Facebook is allowing external sites to show up, provided those sites have integrated the Open Graph protocols, which of course is going to speed the implementation across the internet exponentially. There's already over 250,000 sites with it integrated, and that number's growing daily. And this, of course, allows Facebook to collect enormous amounts of data on its over 500 million users, likes and dislikes, and more importantly, the level of influence that each user has on another user. And this is something that marketers are able to use to really target users to a granular level. And from the profit standpoint, Facebook is already by far the largest display advertiser online. They control 23% of all display advertising. To put that in perspective, if you add up Google, Yahoo, MSN, and AOL's display advertising inventory, it does not equal what Facebook already serves just within the Facebook platform. Once Facebook rolls out the ads to all of the sites that have the Open Graph implemented, this number is just going to dwarf all other display sources. And they also already have their own PPC engine, which of course they can implement into sites as well. How are they going to push Google and Yahoo aside? Very simply. With this level of granularity, it's going to allow marketers to better target their customers. As such, site owners are going to see a higher click-through rate on their ads and be able to collect a higher pay-per-click on those ads for displaying them, which is going to provide the impetus for site owners to immediately switch from Google or Yahoo ads being displayed on their site to, of course, Facebook's ads being displayed on their site. And finally, and this is the most important thing to remember, is advertisers are no longer going to have to guess at or infer your age, your race, your sex, or your interest, because you've already provided all of that information for them on your Facebook profile.